So the perks of Raveness, right? The big thing, let's call it out now, is Nevermore. Get a new companion, new dial, kind of sweet. But yeah, her perk is Nevermore, right? So we see it on our leaflet here. It says Nevermore joins the Raveness in battle as an instrument of chaos. When Nevermore is activated, Raveness may choose one. Option number 1, move Nevermore to a chosen player. Like that. Option number 2, absorb vitality. On a little symbol we'll see here. We'll see it on our leaflet. And I don't know if we see it anywhere else. I think that's just keyed to the symbol on her Ravenous dial. Or Nevermore dial. Absorb Vitality may only be chosen while Nevermore is on an opponent. So you can't absorb your friendlies. You can put it on your friendlies according to this, right? According to this, you can put Nevermore on a chosen player. I could put it on my teammate. I don't know why you would. Maybe you could. No, you can't. We'll get to that a little bit. May only be chosen while Nevermore is on an opponent. So you can only absorb Vitality on it. For each instance of absorbing, increase Nevermore's dial by 1. Then that opponent receives 1 damage as an isolated source of unfillable damage. Whenever Nevermore is moved to the Raveness, heal the amount of Nevermore's dial, then reduce the dial to 0. If an opponent has Nevermore, they must roll 1 die during their upkeep phase. This is called the Nevermore die roll. And it's got a bunch of effects there. So you could, it says chosen player. You know, I guess I don't see why you'd put it on a teammate. Yeah, I don't know why it says that. Why couldn't they just have set opponent across the entire sheet? And maybe they have. I don't know. I don't know the logistics of that, as my brain keeps trying to fire off why it says it that way. Cross, oh, interesting playing around. Yeah, I fired up their mod just to take a look at Ravenous because we haven't looked at it in a while. Not that it's changed, but I'm trying to see if anybody in Freehawks wants to play a match on there, but I'm not getting any hits, which is fine. But I wanted to look at her feathers. We like feathers. Player with these tokens may spend them at any time to activate a variety of effects. 1 token forces the Nevermore die roll to be rerolled. 2 tokens increase or decrease the value of the Nevermore die by 1. 3 tokens activate Nevermore. Hex. We all know what Hex does. If you don't know, a player afflicted with this token must treat all their die faces with a 6 as if those faces are completely blank instead. At the conclusion of their turn, remove this token. This token may not be transferred by any means, but can be removed. Let's take a look at our abilities next. And then we'll do cards, because I think the cards is going to be the most important part here. Peck, right? Quote unquote, the basic attack. Damage is 5, 6, 7. A die roll of 1 through 3s. On a 4 of a kind, you can activate Nevermore. See if I can dig up an upgrade here while we're talking about abilities. Okay. So it's a 5, 6, 7, 4 of a kind, activates Nevermore on the upgrade. What do we got? Damage goes up by 1, and then 3 of a kind activates. Do I like this? Damage is always good. The only thing I can see here is if you're really, I guess if you're wanting to get Nevermore back on your opponent, and you rolled the 3 of a kind naturally, then I would chase this. But I think this might come into play later when we've done some other abilities. I would want some stuff on my board before I started thinking about doing this kind of stuff. Next one is Follow Friend. This is a good ability. So on 4/5s, draw 1, gain 4 feathers, and activate Nevermore 2 times. This is something that I kind of wanted, like a turn 1. This gives me like Scarlet Witch Darkhold vibes. Just to kind of, if I'm going first, I'm going to roll that. Kind of like it. Give me a card. 4 feathers gives you options to do everything that the feather can do. And activate Nevermore 2 times. You're going to throw it on your opponent. If it's turn 1, you're going to throw it on your opponent, steal some health. Sorry, not steal health. You're going to hit for 1 and absorb vitality, not stealing health. I got to turn Spotify down. It's hurting my brain trying to think and listen. So yeah, turn 1 it's actually pretty good. Draw 1, gain 4. Like I said, it gives you access to everything you can do on what feathers do. And then activate Nevermore 2 times. So you're going to throw it on your opponent. You're going to ping them for 1. They take 1 damage. And then that's about it. That's all you're going to do there. You're going to hang on to your feathers. The other cool thing, too, is if you were super desperate, Nevermore is at 2 on you. I guess you could activate that. Draw a card, gain your feathers. Activate 2 times. You can throw it on your opponent. You can ping. And then you can spend the tokens you just gained from Follow Friends to bring it back. Absorb 3 health. The more I see her, the more I'm interested. I'm purposely avoiding looking at her, so I would be surprised when I get her. What are you doing here? Roz, cover your eyes. Put up the blind. Don't watch. All this could be different, for all we know. I think most of this stuff, when I invested, I'm big on Raveness. I think she's gonna be my favorite. What were we saying? Okay, so let's say we were at 2. You roll Follow Friend. Let's say your opponent had a crappy turn or didn't do a lot of damage, and you can kind of take a turn buffing up again. Roll Follow Friend. Draw 1, gain 4 feathers. Activate twice. So you're gonna go 1, 2. And then you could spend those feathers that you just got to bring Nevermore back to grab yourself 3 health. If you wanted to. If you were desperate and it was late game and you're trying to survive. That would spend 3 of your 4 feathers, leaving you 1 more do nothing with, because that doesn't do anything. Now, if you had 3, boop, 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 and this was on your opponent, then you're even in a better spot, right? You roll Follow Friend, draw 1, gain your 4 feathers. I don't know how to copy paste. I've seen people do it. I'm a drag drop kind of guy until I learn. Somebody might tell me. And then activate twice. So you're gonna go 1, bop, 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 heal 3, bop, 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 and then we activated once, so we can activate again. And we're gonna send it back. That's it. It just moves back. Then you can activate again, I guess. If you're going for a lethal kill, that'd be kind of funny. If you could spend the 4 feathers you just gained, gain 3 to activate. Nevermore to ping your opponent for 1. Killing them off. But yeah, Follow Friend. That's probably not ideal. It's little damage. It's more of an income turn. Put these down here. We'll pretend they're not on our board because we'll access them again. It's got an upgrade. Take a look at the upgrade. The upgrade's really cool. If it hasn't changed. So you still draw 1. You gain max feathers, so you go from 4 to 5. That's actually pretty good. Now that we were just talking that strategy there. And then activate Nevermore 3 times. So, before we go to Birds of Feather, excuse me. It's kind of the same play. Let's say you're at 3. You can activate 3 times. You go 1. Comes to you. You heal 3. That doesn't cost activate. As soon as it comes back, you get the health. And you can activate twice. 1, 2. You have 5 feathers. You can activate again using 3. Sorry, using 3. You can ping again. And then I guess you'd keep your 2 for your opponent's Nevermore die roll, which is kind of good. You can either re-roll it or spend 2 to tip the die. Kind of neat. I like it now that it's upgraded. Gives you a little bit more control over the board. What's the other play here? If you activate 3 times, you go 1, 2, absorb, and then activate a 3rd to keep Nevermore. I like that. You want to keep Nevermore in your opponent. That's a good way to do it if you're at 2 there. And then you still have the feathers to play with. If you really wanted to ping for 1 more damage, you could. Otherwise, you could hang on to them. Yeah, that's about it for there. Birds of a Feather lets you increase your stack limit. So increase feather stack limit by 1, then activate Fall Friend 2. So if you got 3 and you're committed to rolling Fall Friend 2, obviously you want to take your last couple turns to try to just makes 0 sense to not try to go for it unless you are afraid of dice mods and stuff like that. But a natural alt 4/5 is going to let you go from 4 to 5 or 5 to 6. You gain it all, right? Because then you gain it all from Foul Friends. And I have 6 feathers. And then you're going to draw 1. You're going to activate 3 times. So if they have it, you're going to go 1, 2, 3. That pings them for 3. In this case, because you're at max stack, I would spend the 3 to then send Raveness back. Heal the 3 that I just gained. These 3 are gone. And then I have 3 again. If I'm super desperate to get a good to have my opponent roll Nevermore, I'll spend the last 3 I just gained from this combo ability to put it back on my opponent. So that's good. We like that. That Birds of a Feather ability is crazy. Yeah, I think she's got it, and I think we've seen it on Necromancer in the trailer when they were playing it. He's got an ability like that too, where I think you activate to activate. I think. I don't remember. So yeah, I like this ability once if you got a good lead, and if you naturally roll it, it'd be hard to not take it, especially if you don't have anything on your board. What's our next ability? Let's go down. Raven Sight. Kind of neat. Raven Sight on 1 through 3s and then 6s. You can activate Nevermore and deal 3 undefendable. So with that, let's say it's on us. We activate, we send it, do 3 damage. That's about it. You're picky, I guess, if you're at stack for your feathers. Stack is 5 naturally. I guess you could pick for 1 more, but I think rolling this just to get Nevermore on your opponent to keep doing this Nevermore die roll is good. The damage seems kind of crazy to have 2 6s do that. I think the upgrade is where this kind of plays out. I'm trying to make it bigger. I can't zoom anymore. I don't know how that work. Is there a reason why I have it at 90? There's got to be a reason. Oh, that's cool. I guess you can get a mouse click. Anyway, sorry, I got distracted. Where's that upgrade? Right here, Raven Sight 2. So it goes from activate Nevermore to 3 damage to activate 2 times and deal damage. So that feels a little bit better, especially for 1 CP, I guess. You can activate twice. I don't know. This is that ability where like I have to decide if I'm going to commit to it or go with 6s if I have dice mods. Because if you kind of dice mod into your mini, you're still only activating 2 more times, but you're doing 4 more damage at the cost of, if you don't want to spend a dice mod. It would feel bad to spend a dice mod going from Raven Sight to mini. You're doing a little bit more damage, but I think there's other potentials here of normal damage, defendable damage that would do more than that. Yeah, I don't know. It's one of those things where maybe I just got to play it. But for 1 CP to activate Nevermore one more time, I guess isn't bad in the long run. In the grand scheme of things, you're going to do more damage if Nevermore's on your opponent. Let's go to the next one. Murder of Crows. So it's 1, 2, 3, and then 4 5s. Deal 5, roll 4. Add 1 per talon, which is in most cases what's going to happen. Gain feathers or activate. Pretty basic. I want to see. Let's see what the upgrade is. It goes up 1 more damage and you get an extra die, so that's pretty good for 2 CP. I like that. That gives us an opportunity to do some cool things. Deal 6, roll 5. All right. 3 damage and 2 feathers. I'm okay with that, because not only that, I mean, if you get a 6 there, it's really good, but it's not bad damage. And gaining resources at the same time. 2 CP. It gives you extra die and 1 more damage. I like it. We roll 5. Ooh, we roll 5 again. You want a 6. Just got the same thing. Like I like that. Let's activate and 4 more damage. That's 10 damage on that ability, and potentially pinging or healing off it, or sending it back over. And if you have feathers, you know, let's say you rolled a 6 and then like a bunch of 4s, that's 3 feathers there. You could activate again, spending those feathers. You could bring, you know, let's say you're at 2, roll the 6 to activate. You're going to do this to ping for 1 more. You just gain 3 feathers off this ability. You're going to spend those to bring it back to heal. So inevitably, that's not really a true delta, but you would do 5, you do 6, 7 damage, and then heal 3. Okay. So that's got some play. Put that back on me. We get like the true way of this ability. Okay. He's got messed up here. Let's move on. That's okay. I think I like that, but I feel like if there's going to be a toss-up, it's going to be between these two, right? Fake roll. That's kind of what I'm just talking about here. We have Follow Friend upgrade. Is that what we're going to chase, or do we keep the 3 and then go for another one of these to get Murder of Crows 2? Get another talon with this one. I would say if I guess I don't have feathers, or if I do have feathers, I'm going Murder of Crows. If I don't have feathers, I'm keeping these. I'm going to try to go for like 2 more wings. Sorry. I think I've been calling them feathers. There's 1 more. Unfortunately, you need 1. Can't even tip that. I don't think your opponent would dice mod you out of that. Unless it's lethal, which then for them that feels bad to have to dice mod out of something that doesn't do damage. Even if you tipped it so wild or 6 it, I still have Follow Friend. If you do Helping Hand, I'm still going to have it. Yeah, I like this upgrade. Super expensive. 3 CP. And she has no CP gain at all, other than her, you know, the typical cards and natural turn. Yeah, Follow Friend seems really safe to not get dice modded out of. Even better with the upgrade. Yeah, I like the upgrade. But 3 CP, you're not going to have that out for a bit. She does have some cards that you could potentially sell that may not seem worth to some people, but we'll cross those cards here in a moment. Yeah, this ability right now is like not the best one on our board, but it's definitely deserving of like it. I like it. But yeah, if you have feathers on your board, then and you roll 3 feathers and a talon like this, then I'm gonna probably chase another talon. if I can get it. There it is. Sell the basic. Yeah, that's probably a go-to. There. So you roll that. You already maxed your stack with this. Let's say you roll this, max your stack. So you have 6 feathers now. Like, the only problem we see here with Murderer Crows is if you are at max stack and you do gain feathers, like, you can't spend feathers to make room for more feathers. This is kind of ideal. You wouldn't want this because then you wouldn't be able to gain that feather. Actually, yeah, you could. You could spend this. Let's say Nevermore's on you. And you're at max stack. You could spend 3 to move Raveness, then gain the 1 from your dice roll, and then do your damage. So 6, 7, 8, 9 damage, and then you can activate Nevermore to ping for another 1. I guess you could do that. You could play your tokens before gaining them. You just gotta be careful. You don't want to spend. I feel like you don't want to spend 3 to activate. It feels bad. I'd more so want to keep my 1s and 2s to mess with the Nevermore die. But I do agree with you, Crowds. Like, maybe Peck is their go-to sell. It's nice. It's good damage. But if I'm playing a feather game, yes. But if I'm just rolling, if I'm not gaining feathers, then I'm not going to chase that. If I had 6 feathers on my board from Follow Friend and I naturally rolled like a 3 of a kind up, I would probably go with it and then try to play with my feathers. Let's go on to Craven. Craven is our small straight. Gain a feather, deal 8. Nothing crazy there. No Nevermore activation on that. That's our first one we've seen with no. Actually, it's the only one that doesn't have Nevermore activate. Do you want to roll it? No. Because I think you get more potential out of Murder Crow's basic even. You get a little more juice out of this than your small. Not to say the small is bad, but if I'm going to roll 5 die on Murderer Crows, that's horrible. That's a bad example. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, like I'm going to chase Murderer Crows, I would think. I have a 2, 3, 4, 5. Or a 3, 4, 5, 6. Like, I think I'm still going to chase Murderer Crows. Especially if it's upgraded. This is a failsafe. Right now, we haven't seen the upgrade yet, but or if you do a 1, 2, 3, 4, that would be rough. If you had a 1, 2, 3, 4, I guess that would be something you have to consider doing. Usually people keep their 2, 3, 4s, and I guess if you keep it and you chase a 6 or chase a 1. That's not usually how it goes. Yeah, now I got Murderer Crows. Like, I think Murderer Crows is going to be a go-to there over a small. You might do less damage, but I think you're going to get more opportunity to play with Nevermore, and the die roll from that. Let's look at the upgrade. Where is it? Craven to Craven 2. Gain 2 feathers and do 9. Okay, so again, it's okay. If you're not rolling Murder of Crows, this would be the next thing, I guess. You're just not moving Raven or Nevermore. 2 CP for 1 more damage and a feather. If you're good at keeping Nevermore on your opponent, then feathers are good. I guess that's okay. But again, I'm still enticed to go Murder of Crows. Let's jump down to large then. We like large straights here. In most cases. So our basic large straight. Right here. 2 feathers, activate Nevermore and deal 9. So that instantly gives you enough feathers. So it's small. Enough feathers to play with the Nevermore die roll. Which is good. Activate Nevermore. And then deal 9. So nothing crazy here. 2 feathers is good. It gets you set up. If Nevermore's at stack, you can still do the absorb vitality. Since you're not stealing health, you're just you take a damage, you just don't gain the health or gain the absorb. So I guess rolling this would be 2 feathers. You could ping your opponent for 1 from activating it, then deal 9. So it really just kind of sets you up with 2 feathers. I guess if you're desperate for health, you can bring it back and still do 9. It's okay. The upgrade, 3 feathers, activate Nevermore 2 times, deal 9 damage. That I like. I like that we can activate twice. The more activating, the better. These activate once. I think there's only 1, 2, 3 abilities that only activate once. So activating more consistently, I like. So changing 1s to 2s is good. And gaining 3 feathers. So not only are you going to be able to gain 3 feathers, you're going to activate twice. So let's say you go like 1, absorb, 2, or let's say we go 2, you're going to activate twice. 1, 2, and then the 3 feathers you just gained. Boom. Put Nevermore back on. Keep the bird off your shoulder. And then deal 9 damage. Pluck is 4 5s and then 2 6s. You inflicts your hex and deal 9. Or yeah. So, they don't have the hex token in here. But if they did, it's on your opponent. How it works. Am I gonna chase that? Oh, no. I mean, it's not bad. I like it when people don't have 6s. I'm glad she got another ability to use Hex because all I saw was the alt. Yeah, this I think it's the only 2. And then her Nevermore die roll also does it. If your opponent rolls a 1, they gain a Hex. So that's what, kind of tailing off that comment. That's why it's kind of crucial to have feathers. Because if your opponent rolls a die, and let's say they roll a 2, you can spend 2 feathers to decrease that die by 1, giving them Hex. Or, if you get lucky and you spend 1 to have them re-roll it, they get a 4. That would have been discard a card. But if they roll a 2, see, you got to make the choice there because that's kind of interesting. If they roll the Nevermore die and get a 2, do you keep it because you can activate Nevermore 2 times? That's 2 damage. Or it's a damage and heal for that much. But then you have the bird again, which isn't bad. If they're taking their turn and you take Nevermore back, that's okay. You just want to make sure they start their turn with it. Yeah, I guess you have to make the choice. If perfect example is if I'm playing Coolnick and he's got like 6 cards in his hand and 8 CP and he's waiting to pull the trigger on dice mods. That's what he does. I wouldn't be opposed to trying to attack him, especially if it's a hero that he needs 6s with. I don't know. I guess you could tip it back. But that's it. It's on upkeep phase. You can only tip it. Which, that feels bad too, right? If you get a 2, I'm going to feather you down to 1. And then you decide to spend a CP to make, spend that CP to bring it back up. And then I'm going to activate twice. You're either going to take damage or you're going to take a Hex. I think I would take the damage over losing my 6s if I had dice mods. But, yeah, keeping Nevermore out is crucial. Crucial. Plays a big part in the end. So Hex, where were we? Inflict Hex and deal 9. Nothing crazy there. Let's go on to the mini. We kind of looked at it a little bit. Activate Nevermore 2 times, deal 7. So you're going to heal there. You're going to hit for 2. It could be 9 damage total, 2 isolated. You could... This is the one you got to be careful. If you don't have feathers, you don't want to go 1 and bring back and heal it. You're going to want to go 1 and probably tell your opponent to hit again. The max is 3, but you can still do the 1 damage. You just won't absorb anymore. So really that would be 8. It's like a permanent attack mod for 1 damage. You just keep it there every time you activate. You can just keep pinging. Kind of neat. But then if you activate twice, right, you're gonna bring it here, heal, and then bring it back, or you're gonna hit for 2. Kind of neat. I like that. Keep it on your opponent until you can send it back to heal. So we're kind of understanding why it's crucial to act. You know, these upgrades are super expensive, but activating twice, like I was saying, activating twice is awesome. Like being able to activate twice in one ability is really good. Well, I missed that they get Hex if they roll 1, and yeah. 3 ways to get Hex. You're correct. Yeah. But it with the mini. Let's grab the upgrade here. Chamber 2, activate 3 times versus 2 and deal 7, so it's still 7. Avery. I think that's how you say it. Micro alt, gain 4 feathers and deal 2 undefendable. That's not bad. Especially if they have Nevermore and you're going to give me 4 feathers. I'm okay with that. Because then that gives you every option on the feather effects to do any one of those at least once. Twice. You can activate for 3. You can ping, make that 2+1 damage. Or you keep them and you can tip it twice on the Nevermore. You spend 2 to tip the Nevermore die to 1. Let's say you tip it back to a 2 because you don't want to get a Hex. Well, then I'm going to spend my other 2 to tip it back down to a 1. Try to get that Hex out there. Like that. But otherwise, yeah, that's pretty simple there. If I had this, most cases, if you have 2 3 6s already, you know, what are the odds that you're, you know, let's say you roll this. I got my other 6, so that feels good. So this is a good safe move then, because you're either going to roll Avery, or you're going to roll Chamber 2 like we just did, or if we would have gotten another Talon, we would have had Raven Sight 2, which is kind of like a downgrade to the mini, but we're still activating twice. Yeah, so this doesn't feel bad to chase anything after it. Just knowing me, I won't get it. So there we are. We're back at Chamber 2. Too many rolls, but Peck all day. No way, man. We're selling that card. That's what we're learning. We're selling that card. Because we need that CP to upgrade follow friend. Because then we're going to naturally roll it right here. Not even close. Yeah, we're selling Peck. Unless you mean Peck your opponent with Nevermore. The upgrade to follow friend was kind of crazy when I saw it. Yeah, it's kind of neat. I like it. Yeah, that's it for the mini. So we like Avery because it's a good safe. Like I said, if you got a 6 and then you got a couple of these laying out here, you know, what are the odds to either roll a 6 naturally to upgrade to your Chamber 2, or right here, Raven Sight 2. But again, they're both upgraded. It's pretty comparable, then just you're missing out on some damage. Yeah, with Nevermore, yep, just keep Nevermore there. Unless you can, like what we're noticing is our upgrades will allow Nevermore to be activated more than once, which is really good. So if you can sneak this out, steal the health, pop, 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 bring it back out, great. We like that. You don't ever, I shouldn't say ever, you don't want this on your board. You want Nevermore flying around. Shoulder of your opponent. Defense upgrade. It's kind of like a rogue defense, right? 2, 2, and 2. But it's not for every, it's on. And you get all the die. Pop, 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 pop. What do we do? It's on. That feels bad. So that's on, meaning we're only going to do 2 damage out of that. Our defense is kind of meh. I'm not a fan of ons just because I'm really bad with them. Like there's Prevent 2. Prevent 2, deal 1, deal 2. There's a Nevermore. Activate, prevent 2. So this is kind of crucial to our defense to make sure that we are trying to absorb as much as we can, because that kind of helps make up for the lack of damage prevention in the defense. Defense upgrade. We go from ons to deal 1 per every talon, prevent 2, and activate. So we go from our damage dealing defense from on to per 1. We roll this. We're activating, we're preventing, and we're dealing a damage. We're dealing 4 damage and nothing. 4 damage, nothing. 2 damage and prevent 2. So the upgrade's pretty good. You can get it out early. Oh, 3 damage, nothing. Prevent 2, deal 2, nothing. You know what it reminds me of is like this upgrade up reminds me of like a Psylocke defense upgrade. Like it's only 1 damage, but it turns your dice from having to have a pair of an on to like this. If you rolled this like we did, that's 1 damage. You spend 2 CP to get this out, that's 5 damage. Hey, that feels good. Like that. 4 damage and a 6 does nothing. 3 damage, nothing. 2 and then prevent 2. I like that upgrade. I think it's everything for upgrades. Now we'll talk about our all fantastic terrors. Activate Nevermore 3 times. So this is one where I'd be okay if I was pecking this whole time, I wouldn't be opposed to going like this, healing 3. That's 1 activation, and then go 2, 3. Or you go 2, 1, 2, 3, but then if I absorbed, I want to make sure I have feathers so I can get more back out. If we're at 1, if we're at 0, you just go 1, 2, 3. Click hex and deal 13. If I had this going, follow friend, and I rolled an ultimate, I wouldn't be opposed to just like draining that, gaining the health, and then sending it back out, and then 1 damage. Again, keeping the bird out there. I don't care so much for the heal unless I can activate twice. So at most you're dealing 2 damage. If you're talking the bird, not necessarily. Like if you're at 3 and we activate our ult, we could still pick for 3 because the absorb vitality isn't. When I first saw it, I was assuming you were just stealing health because of the word absorbing. But yeah, so you would hit for 3 because they just receive the damage. The dial just doesn't go up. So this is like a 16 point ult, 16 damage ult if you really wanted it to be. But I think there's more value to go 1, heal me, 2, 3. So I went up 3 and then I'm still, I guess it's the same value, but I don't know. Either way, just keep your bird out there as much as you can. If you don't need the health, don't take the bird. Leave the bird. What else? Let's look at the cards. This is some of our cards are okay. Some of them are. I played a few of them when I played the mod that I had an okay combo with. Let's start with main phase. So we have Midnight Dreary. For 1 CP, roll 5 die, gain 1 per feather. Oh, this throws me off. Why does that throw me off? Shouldn't it say like gain 1 feather per? I don't know, maybe it's just me. Gain 1 times feather, wing. Is it the wording that's throwing me off? Where's the ability at times? Maybe it is how it is, and I just never noticed. Oh, okay. Okay, it's just me and my brain just not functioning this morning. It's nicer when you always need health. Yeah, in the true words of what Manny told me one time. Said the object of the game is to have more health than your opponent, right? And then he walked away. 1 CP for Midnight Dreary on your main phase. You can roll 5. Gain a feather per wing. We didn't gain anything there, but we do activate. So if I didn't have any feathers, I guess, I don't know. There's 3 there. You would want at least 2 feathers to make this viable. That's not a bad roll for that. It'd be something if I had some extra CP with crap cards in my hand, I'd play that. If it was main phase 2 and I played that, I guess would not be bad if I could. The cool thing about main phase damage, so for example, activate Nevermore, that technically means I can absorb 1. And you can't block that damage. You can't use Not This Time because that's a offensive roll phase card. It's kind of like Ninja's. What's that card called? The main phase one where she can do 3 damage. Yeah, Not This Time it. So if you had 1 health left, I'd play this in hopes to kill you. Canonize. There you go. Thanks, Magic. So if you had 1 health left, I rolled a 6, you're dead. You can't do anything about it. I guess you could evade it if you really wanted to. Or agility. Can you agility? Can you have 1 damage to take none damage? Yeah, other than that, I guess I would play that if I was desperate for feathers. If I activated on my... If I wasn't able to activate on my turn, like let's say I did roll small, or... I third rolled a basic and didn't get a 3 of a kind, I guess I would play this to try to get the bird over, but I don't know. Seems okay. Nevermore attack. Activate Nevermore. So for 2 CP, you can toss your bird, peck for 1, and choose if the player that Nevermore is on heals 2 or receives 2. So this has potential to be partnered up with the whole wording of move Nevermore to a chosen player, right? Magic Moose Moo and I are playing, and I say, you know what? He's about to die. I'm gonna activate Nevermore and put it on you, and then I'm gonna tell you to heal 2. A super expensive strategy, but I guess if you're really desperate for 2 health, otherwise you just put it on yourself and you can heal 2. That'd be really cool. Imagine if this was at 3. I pay 2 CP to activate Nevermore. Whoop. I absorb the 3. Then choose if that player Nevermore is on heals 2. So I'd heal 2. So I'd heal 5 that turn. CP. I like that. I'm allergic to birds? Well. Then you're going to receive 2 damage. Take it. Let's look at Stonebeak, Talon Strike. I played these when I played against people. Attack mod. So let's do Stonebeak first. So 2 CP. Play only if Nevermore is on the target of your attack. So if I'm attacking you, you have to have the bird in order to play this. Add 1 damage. This attack becomes undefendable. So really good in the sense that, like, let's say we roll Murderer Crows. We deal 6. We roll 5. Okay, we're going to do 5, 6, 7, 8, and then activate. So we're going to go whoop. That's 8 damage. We're going to spend 2 CP to do this. It'll be 9 damage, and then your attack becomes undefendable. That seems pretty good. The other option would be if we activated 3 times, would there be any benefit to this? Let's say we're pecking because we're at 3. We rolled our mini alt, activate Nevermore 3 times. So you'd go 1, absorb, 2, 3, play this card. It would be 7, 8. The attack is already undefendable, I guess. That's a bad example. It's the only one that does 3, right? No, Follow Friend also does 3. That does 2. I mean, 2's not bad either. If we rolled our large, I guess is pretty good. So you'd get 3 feathers. Activate. Let's say it's at max again. Activate 2 times. You'd go 1, bop, 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 bop. And then you activate again to send it back over. For the second time, you deal 9 damage. You'd spend 2 CP, make it 10 undefendable. And then, you know, you got 3. You could just dump these and either activate again or whatever you want to do with that. October can't come fast as well as those Vanguard reveals. It's got to be soon, right? I'm assuming it's next week, but I don't know. That's it for that card. So it's got some play. I would hang on to it. Undefendable damage is always good. I just want to make sure I'm using it in conjunction with something that's, you know, keeping my bird. In most cases, as long as you're activating twice, the bird's always going to be out there. Activating once, you can still keep the bird out there, but I think activating twice is going to allow you to really take advantage of, like, even if it's at 2, like I wouldn't be opposed to going 1, 2, just keeping the bird out there, healing for 2. Not a bad idea. Talon Strike, pretty basic attack mod. Roll 5, add damage per 1, and then you just gain a feather no matter what. So 3 more damage. You can combine those. Oh, that would have been cool if they, like, if the cards lined up. So we'd add 3 damage. Let's say we rolled our large again. We would gain 3 feathers, activate 2 times. You'd go like 1, 2, and then 9 damage. Then you could play this because it's on your opponent. It'd be 10 damage. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 damage, undefendable. And then you end up with 4 feathers. Which then you could spend 3 to absorb. And then if you got the CP, you could spend 1 CP on Activate Nevermore. Oh, this is huge. And then that would go back. And then you could choose to do 2 more damage. That was like 15 some damage there. That's a neat little combo. How much is that? 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 5 CP to do that. So yeah, we're selling Peck. All the more reason to sell Peck. That's crazy. Get Peck out of here. Stonebeak, I remember having it in my hand when I was playing this, and it stayed in my hand in most cases. Like, I wanted to keep it because I didn't want to get rid of it, but at the same time, I never saw an opportunity to really take advantage of it. But even if it's just like a micro, like 1 more damage, whatever, I would still do it if it meant like killing my opponent. That's it for offensive roll face cards. She's got 2. Look at our instance here. These could really change things up a bit. So she's got a Tippet for Nevermore Nevermore die roll for 1 CP. That's not even a Tippet. That's so wild on that. That's pretty good. Yeah. If your opponent doesn't have Tippet and hasn't stolen any feathers, I guess you really can't steal enough feathers to do anything. You can steal 1 to reroll. I guess you can conjure a few with Witch, but this is a nice card. Really give you control of the board. Change the value of the Nevermore die roll to whatever you want. Interesting. I like that card. Really not much to explain other than, you know, making whatever effect you want happen. You could potentially use this as kind of a, you know, have your opponent maybe kind of bluff your opponent into spending some CP to change it again. Imagine if she had left wing of Nevermore, right wing, left claw, right claw, head of Nevermore. If you had all pieces of Nevermore, you instant win. That would be sweet. Just line them all up, just make this giant bird body, and if I complete it, like it. Yeah, other than that, that's just controlling the battlefield, and it's instant, so you can do it even after spending feathers or before spending feathers. And then Broken Stillness lets you activate Nevermore. So this is going to play a part in whatever you activate here, I think. Or it's kind of like a safe. If you want to heal from the 3 before it decreases to 0, then you can play this to get it back out again. I guess there's a play here too, where if your opponent rolls 6 to reduce Nevermore's dial to 0, then return it to me. I could spend 1 CP to get it back. Would that cause my opponent to roll the die again? Whenever Nevermore is moved to Raveness, heal. If an opponent has Nevermore, they must roll 1 during their upkeep. So he would have already had it. They rolled a 6. This gets reduced to 0 and it comes back. I play Broken Stillness for 1 CP to activate to bring it back. Does my opponent have to re-roll the Nevermore die again? For a 1? Is that how that works? That's how Phoenix Burn works, right? You take the damage, you roll. If it falls off, your opponent can spend Acuity to put it back on, and they take the 2 damage again and roll again. Since it's a new status. Yep, I like that. So keep Broken Stillness in your hand. Do not sell it unless you're desperate. So these 2 instances are really good. I like them. I like this one. This one's good in certain cases. Meh. And meh. They're good. These feel fun. So, that's it. That's Ravenous. Play with feathers, keep the bird out. And peck, peck, peck. Caca!